all these box turtles, if you keep them dry, they will be deformed. As you move on down here, southern Vietnamese box turtle.
No way.
These are what we use for our wet hides. They've knocked all the moss out, but they
Dog in here.
Oh, no worries. Hey guys, we're back. We are back from the Turtle Survival Center here in South Carolina. We have been in this room before, but it was about 6 years ago, and I'm sure, man, it is hot in here. It's a little humid in here. Feels just like home, everybody. This is filled with hatchlings. So we're gonna spend today wandering through as these guys prepare themselves. They want to make sure they don't transmit any zoonotic diseases to these very precious animals that are here. So Chris, man, let's start rolling.
So
What have we got?
We've had a really good year, hatching year this year for certain species. Some numbers that we haven't produced before. Particularly here we have Cora galbinifrons.
These are these are galbinifrons babies. We saw them in the other video, guys. And look, they are great climbers. They love climbing.
Oh, yeah. That's what this is for. The last time we were here, we didn't have this, but now we have to put these on here.
Because you might have had a little escape.
They use the drain pipes and little escapes. Yep.
I just heard from one of our friends on Patreon that his Herman's tortoise, or was it a marginated tortoise, piggybacked off another one and got out of its enclosure. So these turtles can do that too. So they are gorgeous. I mean, when they're young, they're so vibrant. They haven't gone through the natural erosion of their shells and just they're getting more and more drab as they get older. But that is an awesome species, guys. What a rare and beautiful animal.
And like we talked about earlier, that variability is just, it's amazing.
Striking, right?
Yeah.
And as you move on down here, we'll get in. If you go up, you get some pictorata. This is the southern Vietnamese box turtle.
No way.
So, I'm sorry, this is a Beretti.
That's Beretti. Okay, no worries. He's lying. He lied to you. But that's still beautiful. Look at that. Beretti. Okay, Beretti's box turtle. Pictorata, no way.
Yep, slightly older because these guys actually don't have a breeding season.
Wow.
Like the rest of the Cora. These and Cora amboinensis will breed year round.
No way.
So we, as Cora pictorata, we've gotten eggs from them every month of the year except November, or was it July? I can't remember.
November is the only one we don't have them recorded as. We have. Like, I think we have one that's gravid right now, and so maybe come in November. But
are you doing anything special to know if they're gravid, or you palpitating
We X-ray them?
You X-ray them.
On-site X-ray.
We X-ray them. Yeah, we have digital X-ray.
See, and that's because you guys can't risk losing any eggs.
No, and we also, just for health, we just want to know. So what we do is we X-ray all the females during the breeding season, so we know who's gravid, how many eggs they have, what to expect, and we mark their enclosures with a tag, so the staff knows to be searching for eggs in these enclosures until we find them. We have a sheet that we mark everything, who's gravid, what enclosure they're in, we check everything off, put dates on it, all that stuff, and then we individually label every single egg, put it into a database. So we manage these things to really strictly, in terms of
before the eggs are laid until after they're dead.
That is
we take morphometrics on all the eggs, length, width, the weight of them, and then for the galbinifrons complex to help with the stud book, we take all of the hatchling measurements as well. So that's been going on since 2017. So we're hoping in the next couple years we'll have enough data to publish for 26 species.
So you saw the yellow. The yellow one is the southern form, the pictorata.
Okay.
And then this is the middle form in Vietnam. This is Cora Beretti.
Okay.
So they're very similar looking to galbinifrons.
Yep.
In fact, some say that this is a subspecies of galbinifrons.
Gotcha.
Potentially. Which it was originally. Both of them were described as subspecies of the Indo-Chinese or flower-back box turtle, galbinifrons. Then early 2000s, they were elevated to full species status. But so you have the Beretti line up here, and then you have galbinifrons down here.
All right, now
can we show the key distinguishing characteristics between the two? Because a lot of people do have trouble telling them apart. So one of your big telltale signs between your Beretti and your galbinifrons, if you look at, that's not a good example, that's a really dark one.
Okay.
But if you look at the plastron, You'll see this is kind of black dots on each scoot, or not dots, but markings, and there's your galbinifrons.
There's galbinifrons, more black.
Yep, almost all black, with some orange on or yellow on the edges of the scoots.
Very
as well.
cool. Guys, you hear me talk about redfoot tortoises as opposed to cherry heads. If you look at the plastron of the redfoots, similar, it's going to be lighter. And then cherry heads have more black. So with the, that's
Beretti.
Beretti and galbinifrons. Very cool, man. And that's how taxonomists, and when they're doing these, when they're trying to figure out the difference between species, they're looking at all kinds of little morphological, I can't say that word, morphological, differences. That's really cool. Thanks for that, man.
Yeah. And then pictorata, to tell it apart, actually, is it looks like their pupil is irregular, but it's actually their iris.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And that's the distinguishing characteristic. It's not a circle. It's got like a little jagged point on it.
And they're always yellow. Basically.
And they're always yellow, except the one that we have,
which has some orange on it. But
that's awesome.
But the pictoratas, they also are like the Beretti in the sense that they just have the black on each scoop. It's more extensive usually, but it's not a solid black.
Gotcha.
But they're always this kind of yellow with this brownish on them as well.
That's really cool. All right, so we just saw how the babies look of those, but let's see some other species.
Here's some of the terrestrial species. These are a little bit older. They're not. These are 2019 to early 20 hatches. It's the Burmese star tortoise.
That is a beautiful star tortoise.
Gioccolini platinota, which is endemic to Burma, Myanmar.
Myanmar, yeah.
And then we have the Sulawesi tortoises. These are young ones, also called the Forsten's tortoise, Endotestudo
Oh, really? That's what these are?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So when they're young, they're very serrated.
Can we pull one out, maybe?
Sure.
So, guys, what species that I have, and I actually have to thank Chris for my group of elongated tortoise. They're in the same genus, Endotestudo.
They're related.
That means Indian or subspecific, like, sub-Indian tortoise, right? Endotestudo. That's beautiful. So, but you can see the difference now between my elongata and these is that they are much darker shell on each scoot. It's much darker. And as Chris said, they're serrated here on the edge, but as they grow older, they lose that.
And there's also some
look at that. Yeah, there.
Features,
Show us.
I believe. I don't know exactly.
You don't know? Yeah.
I don't remember.
That's fine, dude.
I'll pull the paper back out.
We'll give you a pass, man. You have to remember
general
a lot.
Appearance, but I think there's some scoot formations that can tell you as well.
Gotcha.
And some of these guys, some individuals, some Forstens have a nuchal scoot and others do not.
Don't. Yeah, that's so bizarre. Awesome. Very cool. Uh-oh. Is that fair eye?
It is, yep.
Oh man, guys, look at this. The forest
So that's 2020 hatchling.
Really?
Yep, right above you here in this enclosure.
That guy grew pretty quick.
Yep.
They grow fast.
2021, so these guys hatched this year.
Is this still fair eye?
Yep.
Wow.
That one's just abnormally light.
Yeah, almost like Emmy's Emmys.
Yep.
Like, Minoria, Emmy's Emmys, which is the brown mountain tortoise. And then this would be the black mountain tortoise.
Yep.
But in reality, they're both black mountain tortoise. And would you do me a favor and pick him up and flip him upside down? And I'm going to show folks how you know that it is a black mountain tortoise as opposed to a brown mountain tortoise. You can see these pectoral scoots here, they meet right at that midline seam, whereas in the Emmys or brown mountain tortoise, they'll stop here and there's a seam that goes this way and connects to the mid. But that's really cool, man. I haven't seen these little guys in a while. Beautiful, beautiful species and great climbers.
Oh yeah.
Hardy. When raised in captivity. And the only other species I think that's in their genus is Depressa, right?
Impressa.
Impressa. Yes, Impressa.
Tortoise.
The Impressa tortoise. You don't have any here, do you?
Right.
Yeah, they're hard to come by. More star tortoise. Look at this little one. Oh, they're beautiful.
We have had them here in the past, but they've gone other places.
So you guys get a good idea. I mean, there's UVB here. They've got heat lamps. They're using a solid mixing tub so the tortoise can't see through it or else they'd pace and get stressed out. Shallow water dish. What are these? What are these?
It's just planters.
Okay, yeah, I like that. It's nice and shallow,
plant pot.
And just keeping it very simple.
Yep.
Of course, these guys will then move to a different enclosure when they're larger.
Yep.
And then
or they'll go to another zoo.
Yep.
Gotcha.
More than likely.
These are brand new genetics for the SSP, actually.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And then the only other thing too is we can actually thank meal preppers for these. These are what we use for our wet hides. They've knocked all the moss out, but they snap right in. You keep a bunch of wet moss in there, and
That's
they have a wet
good
hide.
idea. Look at this, guys. So you can get, you know, when you go to the Chinese food restaurant, you can just cut a little hole, put your sphagnum moss in here, moisten it, and then it clips in, and they have a nice place to kind of burrow into. As you can see, they really love to stay humid. In fact, for that species, it's a must.
It's a must.
Yeah, if they're not.
Many of these, all these box turtles, if you keep them dry, they will be deformed.
Okay.
They have to be raised in a very wet or damp, high humidity environment, or they will become deformed.
Well, and some say that that's true of certain, at least some degree of humidity for most tortoises.
See a lot of tortoises.
Because they'll get that pyramiding sometimes. That's one of the reasons they think you get them. That's a brand new one, huh?
Pan's box turtle.
Holy smokes.
That's a hatchling Pan's box turtle. It's maybe a month old.
Oh my
and still,
God.
it's not completely sealed up here.
Incredible.
The caruncle is still there, or the egg tooth. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What a beautiful. You can see.
Is its sister taxon on the Aro capitata, the yellow-headed.
Wow, look at the difference, guys. I mean, you can really see why they would be a desirable.
Oh, absolutely.
Turtle. People just, you know, gravitate towards the beauty in nature. And we want to possess it sometimes, and much to the detriment of wild populations. So it's fantastic work that's happening here at the Turtle Survival Center. Clint and Chris, really appreciate it. Thanks for opening the center up to me. This is not a public facility. This is probably the only way many of us are going to be able to see it is through these videos. So I'm always happy to have this kind of access. If you want to help out the TSA and all these animals in the room, please go to turtlesurvival.org or .org. I did it again. My wife's going to kill me. I don't know why I can't say .org. But anyway, here we go. Do what you got to do, friends. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by.
I got to get traveling, buddy. I got to get back to my own collection. They're missing me. So I'll see you the next time I'm cruising the 95 corridor going north.
Absolutely.
See ya.